I'm just getting tired of it. And I'm getting tired of you poor people out there just getting dumped from State Farm straight into Citizens thinking it's a better policy and it's backed by somebody special, because it's not. I mean, let me tell you what's going to happen to you if you get thrown into Citizens. And it happens with anybody who writes Citizens, even me. That's why it's called the insurance company of last resort. You see, the government doesn't want these policies. So what do? They get them in, and they write it up, and then they try to dump them to somebody. Well, who do they dump them to? Well, this is the insurance company that usually gets them. You see, as earlier I was talking about the reinsurance, it's going to cost them, $150,000, $250,000 every quarter for the reinsurance. Well, they have to pay that to stay in business. Well, if they don't have the money, where are they going to get it? And the reason they don't have the money is because they got these high rules on who they're going to write. 2002 homes or newer, has to be brick, has to be 2 miles from the water. Well, everybody wants those, so there's a big fight for it. Well, if they don't got the money to pay for the reinsurance, normally they go down to the state and they say, okay, I want to buy a block of the Citizens. So they just take a certain amount for the money they need, and they take it out Citizens' hands, and they got the deal where, hey, we can't raise the rate for a year, and they say fine. So you get switched over to another company. And you're like, well, what is this? And you call up, and I'm like, well, in this instant, it's good to go with another company because at least you got that little extra shield before you go straight into Citizens. But then what happens in year two? Well, in year two, they're wide open. They can jack it up all they want. So then at that point, I just really want to drill it home to you. When you get a rate increase, give me a call. At least you'll know what's going on. And I got a lot of companies out there, even Citizens in this case, because if the rate goes up too high, right now, Citizens has a rule that you can rewrite them back in there as long as it's 15% less than the premium you're currently paying. And then basically you go through the same game again. They're trying to move it all out, and you go to another company that needs the money. But what I'm saying is, if you can get one of these A-rated companies I have now's the time to do it. You don't want to wait till it's too late and you're with everybody else and things are going crazy, and who knows, if a storm comes by, they shut down. They don't let anybody write when a storm's coming. So with that in mind, let me give you guys some advice, because you've been sitting with me for a while here. I'm going to try to help you out, and I don't care who your insurance agent is. You need to save some money, even with the company you have right now. So I'll give you two easy examples. The first one is your roof shape. I have a lot of customers that really don't even know that can save you money, but if you got what's called a hip roof, that alone can save you a lot of money on your insurance policy, and we're talking about homeowners here. And the best way to describe it without showing pictures, like if you were in the air looking down over your house and your roof slanted out all four ways, that's called a hip roof. And many of you don't even tell us you have a hip roof. And especially the older policies with some of the older captive companies, they weren't discounts back then. But then the state said, hey, if they got a hip roof, we don't think it's that good of a chance that it's going to blow off, so you have to give everybody a discount. I mean, these are things the state are putting pressure on the insurance companies to give discounts. So now's the time to do it. I mean, you got to kind of play the game, and that's what I'm here to do, is to help you play the game. And the next big one is called a wind mitigation form. And I really believe you need to get a wind mitigation form. And this is for people that have a home older than 2001, as far as the rules are right now. Because 2002 or newer, you get the discounts anyways. At least you do with the companies I write with. I'm not sure about the captive ones. But if your home's 2001 older, we need this form. And this form requires an inspector to come look at your place. And it runs usually about $100 to $150, somewhere in there. And in fact, I know some of them now, the ones that are $150, they guarantee you'll save at least that much on your homeowner's policy. But we got the $100 people that do it also. But what this does is they look at it and they make sure you got clips up on your roof, and they make sure that your house is up to the 2001 standards. And then with that, I've seen it save you $800, $900 a year on your policy. I mean, it saves you a ton of money. So those two things alone will save you a ton on your homeowner's insurance. I've noticed that the hurricane shutters, they don't really save you anything anymore. You want the wind mitigation, and you want to let us know if you got a hip roof. Those are the big ones. And another thing I keep finding out too is if you got the free wind mitigation, because the state was doing it for free for a while, many of you got the wind mitigation and you filed it away and you never let your agent know. You got to let us have that form. You got to fax it to us or get us a copy of it so you can get the discount. That's another great saving ways idea. So friends, what do you think so far? What was the reasoning behind this infomercial and the expenses going into it and bringing it out to you? is because I am so tired of all these captive agencies throwing spins out there and stories on how they're there for you and they're a good neighbor and they got the helping hands and that's their stance and all that stuff, when it's all just a bunch of advertising ploys. The bottom line is they're in it to make money, and you need to understand it's all business to them. They don't really care about you and I. I mean, in my opinion, I would have dumped in a long time ago and been saving hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on home insurance, but you just didn't know any better because I was there. I mean, you come in and you see the sign and you think, oh, they're there for me. But if you would realize, like back in the first infomercial I had, they're not even the big, State Farms or the big Allstates. I mean, they chopped that off and made it just Florida Allstate or just Florida State Farm. I mean, they keep pushing it aside, pushing it aside, pushing it aside. And I can't wait to see what the next play is if they get to break away from the state and not be, quote, backed by the state. What are they going to call it then? What's going to happen then? So, in my opinion, you need to save some money. See if you got the hip roof, get the wind mitigation. Hopefully, now that you realize that all this stuff with the CAT fund, and then you got the citizens, and all the citizens' money is backed by the CAT fund, which, as you realize, was $18 billion the wrong way, and then all of these other companies that are inside the the state mandatory reinsurance, well, that's all backed by the CAT fund. Well, there's no money there. Nobody's buying the bonds. It's getting really scary. The reinsurance big dogs up there in the Bahamas, they want a ton of money. So what's going to happen? All I can see is the rates are going to start screaming through the roof. And that's going to be a tough thing. You want to be in a company as soon as you can, at least so you're locked in for the year to weather this out, and then we'll see where we're at next year. And that's what I love about my staff and everybody that works here. They rewrite, and they always look for the best company that has the best backing and money available. And they even let you know the options. And that's what I love about this business, too, is I believe in pre-dialoguing you. I am here for you. I'm your agent. I'll tell you these are your options. And now, with the knowledge you have, pick which one you want. Do you want the least expensive one? That's fine. Do you want one that you feel is a little more secure in the long run? Well, that's fine, too. But at least you know what's going on. So when a big claim comes and nobody's there, that's a horrible experience. That's why we don't mess with some of them. But don't get confused with this backed by the state promise, because it's just a way for funds. They put a little stamp on there. And then because I got a couple companies now that aren't backed by the state, but the reason I don't write with them, even though they're A-rated, is because their rates are easily $2,000 more than the ones that are backed by the state right now. And the reason for that is because ones backed by the state have to keep it low. But right now, as we speak, they're down there in Congress fighting, saying, hey, Governor, you got to do something because the great idea is not working. And so, you know how it is. Money speaks, the pressure's pushing on there. The big boys are fighting back and forth, and you and I are taking the brunt of it. And I hope this message got across to you that, you know what, they're not there for you. The only one there for you is going to be your independent agent, somebody like me. Of course, I hope you choose us, but even if you go with an independent agent, I really believe you'll be way better off than you are right now. So with that said, God bless everybody out there. Give us a call, or hop on YouTube, jump on my web. I mean, a lot of you out there might be thinking, oh, this guy's a shyster, a hustler. We're so busy, just hop on the net or on the web, email me. We'll just send you back a quote, and we're not going to call and put the grind on you like some people do. We're just going to email you the quote. If you like it, give us a call. We'd love to help you, but we're not here to pressure you in any way. Once again, we love you guys. Give us a call anytime, and you be blessed. Bye-bye.